My goal for this video is for you to go from playing basic chords like this and use those same chords but play them more like this. And believe me, it is possible if you just watch the rest of this video. Okay, so my name is RMC Beats, and in this channel, we love to cook up beats. We like to make beats. We're into making music, mainly R&B music. In this video, I want to show you guys how to do some more inspirational chords. It may seem like a lot if you're a beginner, but honestly, it's not that hard to play if you just follow every single little thing I do in this video. So let's get straight into it. The chords I'm playing right here, it's C, D, and E minor. And back and forth, D and C again. The way you can get from playing like this and just using those basic chord progression is by leaving your right hand in the E minor scale, which is this. So basically, if you play all of those, anything you play here will sound good. And let me explain that in just a little bit. So for this video, I am going to use some basic white keys. The only black key that I'm going to use is this F sharp right here, or G flat, because we're in the E minor scale. And in the bass note, I'm using D, I'm using C, sorry, D, and then E. And I'm using those basic 3 keys. So in order for something to sound a little bit more inspirational, instead of using just basic chords like this, leave your hand here in the E minor scale that we just went through, and you can pause the video wherever you like, and go ahead and just move the left hand up. So you can just do a nice little melody in any key of this scale, like this, even 2 keys, and just move the left hand. See how simple that is? Just 2 keys, slowing it down. Even 1 key, this one. 1 key G, and then move the left hand. Look how beautiful that sounds, just with 1 simple key. And the reason why it creates such a beautiful sound is because you're then using inversions. Instead of following the bass note the whole time, you're using inversions here on the right hand. And obviously, with time and practice, you get to use more of your fingers. But for now, let's just create something a little bit simple, and then I'll create something a little bit more complicated. So let's go ahead and record something in the BPM of 88. And of course, I'm playing the key of E minor. So let's go ahead and just record something real quick. I'm going to go just improvise, strictly improvise. Kind of have an idea of what I'm going to play, but not really. Let's go. Just simple chords. I'm staying in the key of E minor. Just using the same scale when it's something like this. Now, this is how it sounds. Not too bad, right? And I'm using a piano sound right now. I might switch that up later, but for the sake of this intro of this video, or just this video in general, I just want you guys to hear the exact notes that I'm playing. That's why I'm using a piano sound right now. I think a piano sound is probably the best representation of how you can better hear every single note. By the way, if you're liking this video so far, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the YouTube channel. And also, I just dropped my R&B Madness kit. If you want to grab that, link is in the description. You don't want to miss out. Anyways, so now let's try to create another melody here. Duplicate this sound. This is the melody I came up with first. Now let's try to make another melody. As you can see, I'm going to keep playing the same scale right here, but I'm just going to come up with something different. It gets easier because the more you practice it, the more you can create different melodies. So let's go. And I did use the pedal for this. That's why it sounds a little bit funky. Here we go. Now the bass notes are not hitting. Just adjust that a little bit. And the reason why I feel like this is kind of beneficial is because if you're a beat maker or a producer and you click notes in, yes, you can definitely do that by clicking notes in, but I feel like you can make your work a lot more fun and a lot faster if you're just playing the melody instead of clicking it. Let me know if that's true in the comments. If you don't agree with me, totally fine. I'm just saying I feel like I get through work way quicker just playing something instead of figuring out where the notes are gonna go. Let's make one more melody a little bit more complicated using the same scale, the same notes, and let's see what comes out. And after that, we'll see which one's the best one we can go with. I'm gonna use a couple of grace notes maybe on this one. And again, I'm using the pedal. I still haven't figured out how to work that pedal quite well with the DAW, to be honest. Somebody gave me some references, but I just don't remember what they said. Let's just make this a little longer. Then you can go ahead and just adjust the notes that you want and don't want to keep, which is honestly a lot easier. And this is all within the scale. And when you see me going up and down the keyboard, I'm really just playing the same exact scale, just in a higher octave, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know down in the comments. What do you mean by that? And if you don't know what octave is, I'm just going from this C to this C to this C to this C. Just higher, same notes, just higher in the piano. Okay, so far I don't like any of these notes. We're probably gonna have to make one again using the same scale from scratch. Okay, now I'm gonna play some chords completely from scratch again, and I'm gonna use the same scale, same chord progression, everything exactly the same. Just gonna switch it up a little bit, make it more complex, just so I can show you guys what can be possible if you just implement and start practicing like using that scale and messing around with like different variations. So let's go ahead and just try to spice things up a bit. Go. So keeping the same scale, I'm just now using like way different inversions for this and a lot of like seventh notes. And you can watch other videos of mine if you don't know what that is. Seven notes just adding on top of other notes. Let's just fix this up a bit. The bass notes are never where they need to be. We just got to fix this up a little bit, or we could just do it over. Let's just do it over. Why not? It's more fun that way, right? Speed it up a little bit. Let's just leave it at 90 actually. I don't know if I like that last note still, but let's see what comes up. I'm using too many grace notes in the beginning. That's better, way better. Kind of sounds like the intro of like No BS from Chris Brown, not gonna lie. Let's keep that. Just put these in the beginning so they can land perfect. I like to play chords in the beginning to lay a foundation, and then you could add melodies on top of that afterwards. But let's go look for like a different sound. I don't want the piano sound. For the sake of this video, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just use some alchemy sounds, just because in case you don't have any like third-party plugins, totally fine, I got you. Sounds crazy right there. We could just take that splash filter off, fish frequency off. Let's see. There we go. What do warm drips do? Take the splash filter off. Oof. Leave some shoal. Reduce it. I definitely like the warm drips the best, so I'm just gonna leave this here. And then with the effects, the crossfade here, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it all the way up here and close to the corner. I love adding texture when sounds already have something and then just kind of manipulating them a little bit. But you can call it sound design, I guess, but it's not crazy sound design, but still it's something like in that area. This sounds really nice once you just mess with it a little bit and add some reverb. That sounds nice just the way it is. Let's go ahead and EQ it a little bit. Reduce some of its low frequencies and some of this harsh mid right here, because it's definitely going to affect the drums once they come in. So for my second melody, I found this nice sound inside Alchemy. It's called Outer Lands Synth, and it's a vinyl EP. I raised up the volume a little bit, messed with the texture, and now we got this sound right here. if you didn't know, I also sell beats. So I do want to make this kind of inspirational and kind of emotional, and that feeling that you feel like when you're inspired. That's the whole point of this video. Hopefully it's making sense. But I want to add a counter melody to kind of fill up that emotion and make an artist actually want to sing on a beat like this. So let's go ahead and create a melody, still using the same scale. And we're going to be just using octaves here, going from G to G. And still going and using the same scale. Nothing's changed, just getting creative with it. So let's go. I think I want to switch this one maybe over here. Very beautiful melody, by the way. Just extend this a little bit further out. And like I said, once you learn the scale that you're playing in, you can get as creative as you want, and it doesn't have to be super simple like that. You know, like the first chord progression you heard in the intro of this video, it could be just countless ideas that you could just come up with. Let's go ahead and kind of manipulate this a little bit. Let's reduce the final effects a little bit. Let's add some reverb. Let's raise the vibrato a little bit. Resonance. Let's just go ahead and pan this a little bit to the other side. And of course we got to EQ it a little bit, those harsh frequencies. Now we're just blending in good with the first melody, and I am gonna add a compressor here just because I don't want those high pitch to really pop out of like their range. But I don't want that to reduce the reverb and the delay that it has. Because I feel like this is the melody that's gonna drive this whole composition that I'm currently making right now. So for my third instrument, I'm gonna add these Jupiter orbit strings, and they sound like this. They sound very, very lovely. That's the best word I can use. And by the way, I made some switches here. Instead of the melody how it used to sound, it sounds like this now. The only switch I made is I reduced this. It used to sound like this at this octave. And I feel like it was just clashing too much, so I reduced it one octave down. And then I changed the sound completely. Instead of Alchemy, I just wasn't feeling that sound too much, so I did have to go to a third-party plugin and use this everything right key sound right here. But I did reduce the attack, and then I used this EQ. I EQ'd it as much as possible. It could sound like this, very subtle. And I haven't added reverb or anything yet, but maybe I will in a little bit. For the meantime, I like the way it's sounding. And these strings are gonna just complement this melody already, and I think we should be good. I don't want to overcomplicate this. I want to keep it kind of nice and simple as well. So let's go ahead and record this in, kind of play the same chords we were playing in the beginning. Slightly different, but for the most part the same. Let's go. And yes, right now everything sounds crazy and all mashed up, but I am gonna EQ this so it won't sound like that, because we don't want that. I'm just gonna leave this center piece right here. And I might even transpose this one up an octave. I want to microphase it a little bit. Here we go, microphaser. I just want it to be kind of warped. There we go. And then let's just stereo pan this a little bit to the other side, to the left. And it's sounding very, very full now. Like, you can definitely leave this melody just the way it is and create a beat around it. Okay, so this is totally optional and it's not necessary at all. I just always like to add some type of other counter melody, even if it's with a vocal chop or anything else at all, honestly. So I'm gonna add this vocal chop right here. Everywhere. Just one phrase, one word. It's super simple, but I just like to add a few things just to add variation to the beat while it's playing. So let's go ahead and just record this in and manipulate it afterwards. Everywhere. Just one time right there. I don't want it to be playing more than that, I think. We'll see. For now, it's good right there. And I don't want it to sound that dry. So let's go ahead. First thing, let's add some RC20. Everywhere. reduce some of the noise. Maybe we could do it twice. That sounds not too bad. Let's EQ it now. I'm gonna be super muffled. And let's go ahead and add some reverb. Let's use the universal audio reverb for this one. Reverb Pro. Let's mix it. Increase the thickness. I kind of don't like that metallic sound. Let's go to big warm hall. Way better. It's more curtained up. It's not as warm as I want it. Let's add some delay now. Let's reduce this to the wet to like 15%. And muffle it up even more. There, let's see. And I'm thinking kind of like a dance hall, but maybe not. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet with the drums, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the R&B Madness kit, and let's go ahead and start adding some drums. If you want the R&B Madness kit, like I said earlier in this video, link is in the description. I dropped this kit this month. It has so many sounds, so many amazing sounds, and a lot of you have been buying it already. So thank you so much for those that have been buying it. And if you're so far into this video, go ahead and hit the like button now, or not. You don't have to do that. Anyways, let's go into the R&B Madness. Go with maybe like a perk sound. Not a perk, like a rim shot. Works every time. It really does. That's what it's called. Works every time. Don't know if that'll work. Sounds very basic right now. Fix that later. I think I want to go ahead and use nice kick now. It has to be kind of subtle at the same time. I do like the room kick. Did I do this backwards? I think I did this backwards. Too many kicks, by the way. I think we're gonna have to speed it up just up to 92 maybe. Let's do a double kick here. All right, let's just leave that there. This one can swing a little bit. I might just stay with this aura kick. Punches through. Okay, now let's go ahead and look for some hi-hats. Ooh, this blessed hi-hat already sounds nice. Let's try to use this. What if I use the step sequence? Hey. Now let's go ahead and change the velocity on some of these so it won't be so repetitive and it could sound kind of bouncy at the same time. So let's just reduce this, leave this one here, and we should have a better bounce. We could leave a few more with the velocity all the way down. Like it's just random. And we'll leave it all the way down so you could just barely hear it, but it's gonna be there. It's just gonna be very low. Let's see. Kind of like a delay, and I could add the delay instead, but this makes it a little bit more, it just gives it more of a bounce in my opinion. Now we got to do the second half. Just bring some in and probably still add the delay after. And let's just take some of these off. It's a little bit excessive in my opinion. So let's just remove some of these. I feel like it's a little bit too much. And then we could go ahead and still add an echo delay here. And we'll come back to the hi-hats if we have to. For now, I'm just going to leave them like this. Go ahead and add some more percussion instruments. Maybe this one sounds nice, nice and silk. I think once is good enough, honestly, because this is not the only percussion instrument I'm going to add. Can I do it twice, though? Can I just put it twice? Yes, I like that. This one sounds a little bit off, not gonna lie. Let's EQ this just a little bit. There we go. Now let's go look for like a clap in there somewhere. Let's go ahead and try to use this sharp clap in between. It's a little bit dry, so let's go ahead and add some reverb. Let's go into Valhalla and reduce it up to like maybe 3%. A little bit higher. I'll probably add something else after that. Let's just add this clap right here. Echoes in between. We could kind of just copy and paste this over, to be honest. There it is. Hey. Now let's go ahead and look for some open hats. Let's go ahead and add this fade open hat right here. We'll kind of like this one too. Yeah, that's the one. Let's go. And I'm gonna use it probably a different one. I think I'm adding too much already, right? Really need to create a buzz with some reverb in it. My CPU is gonna be crazy right now. And I could keep adding more percussion instruments, but let's go ahead and add the bass. Let's go to R&B Madness, and we got some good basses here. So I think this Hunger one might work. Canyon. I think I'm gonna use 2 basses for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one and then add another one afterwards. This. I like how the way this bass sounds. Just sounds nice and subtle. But I do want to add like another one that just lasts. Just that one. This one might be it. I'm gonna mute this other one, and then when this one's not playing, I'll probably play this other bass. Let's go and quantize this. EQ it. It's too much low end here. Let's clean that up a little bit. And I am gonna stop right before, maybe like this. Maybe stop it right here. I don't want the bass to play all the whole way through. There we go. Let's create some dynamic. This one comes in. All right, let's go ahead and rearrange this beat, mix it up a little bit even more, maybe add some percussion, maybe not. I think that's good enough. And let's hear the final result in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Bless those keys to RNC.
right, and if you're at the deep end of this video, you already know what to do. Comment down below, deep end of the video. Honestly guys, hopefully this video was helpful. Obviously it was an inspirational chord video, like how to make inspirational chord progressions, and I feel like this melody is definitely inspiration. At the same time, it has a lot of emotion feeling into it, and that's what I think inspiration does. It creates that emotion and that feeling that you want the artist to feel when they hear your melody, when they hear your beat, and they're like, wow, I want to sing on this. They're inspired by it. So if you like the video, go ahead, like it. If you don't like it, go ahead, dislike it. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so it's all good. But anyways, till next time guys, God bless, stay blessed, and don't forget to keep cooking up and comment down below what you've been cooking up lately if you're still here. Till next time, see you guys later. Peace.